right? They're having, you know, a lot of concerns with the bike itself because they're not understanding and this is going to be a little itinerary of what this video is going to consist of. So I'm about to play where I went down, and then once I got up, I got to a stop sign, I got my camera back up, I went through, and I kind of was a little post-game adrenaline running through me, thoughts of what caused me to go down. Reason I did that is I've always thought that, you know, if you mess something up and you're what you think at that exact moment and then comparing it to what you think like later that night, the next day, whatever, there's always some relevance to what your immediate thought is to what went wrong, and to think of that and keep it in mind when looking at stuff. And I'll have that, and then the next thing will be I'll go after, you know, watching this video. This happened 2 days ago. After watching this video, you know, hundreds of times at this point, trying to really figure out what happened, my thoughts there. And just as a little backstory as well, this is a road that I am stupid familiar with. This is a road that I have taken that turn hundreds and hundreds of times. I've taken that turn at speeds faster hundreds of times. This one was a real moment and a funny, fantastic video, in my opinion, to show why you don't push limits of a bike on the street. So here we go. Alright, this is going to be a video to better understand the power band of inline 4s and how to use it to your advantage. I've seen a lot of videos of guys on 600 specifically, ZX6s even more specifically, because that is the new, you know, that's the hot commodity bike for the younger guys these days. And this is their first sport bike, this is their first inline 4, and they're having issues with confidence on the actual bike and the power band and their cornering, right? They're having, you know, a lot of concerns with the bike itself because they're not understanding and utilizing. Oh shit. That was shockingly non-painful. All right, let's do a little fucking post wreck analysis, shall we? Because I am a fucking idiot, and let this be a lesson to anyone who trusts anything they see online. Any and everyone can fuck up, and I also suck ass. How embarrassing. Okay, so what do I think just happened other than I suck? I am 99% sure, I haven't watched the video back yet, I just made it up to this stop sign to readjust my camera, and you know, collect my thoughts. I'm good. That was a goddamn beautiful washout for what it was. Couldn't have asked for better. How much damage did my bike take is to be determined. It landed in a fucking mud patch, so it's just, you know, mud at this point. And anyway, what do I think I did, and why am I going to be riding like an absolute fucking pussy the rest of this way back? And that is because I, in my extreme intelligence, and especially after my last fucking video, because holy shit, how goddamn embarrassing, I'll tag S1K Rocket back into this one too, just for fun, because Jesus Christ, how embarrassing. But I trail braked in a little too fucking deep. I came into that corner a little hot. I had the corner, and I didn't think, fucking idiot, if I had moved my body weight over, I'd have made that turn no problem. Instead, I had to trail brake in harder to try and make that cut. And as I leaned that bike, I leaned it a little too fucking far for my my front wheel to stay stuck to that goddamn ground. So I washed the front, which is, in my opinion, way more embarrassing than washing the rear, because it just means that, you know, that was entirely me fucking sucking, versus the rear, yeah, we can at least blame some outside factors. Nope, front is me. I suck. Do not fucking do what I just did. If you're now, I am very, very curious to go watch this video back and see if it was the front that washed, like I feel like it was right there. That was that one hit the pride way more than it hit anything else. Actually, I'm curious to see too when we get back up here, because I'm 99.999% sure I washed that front. being a fucking idiot. But let's see what we maybe we can find one of those mysterious gravel patches that people like to blame breaking their traction on. And if anyone, there's some gravel right there. If someone wants to go within the next 10 seconds, throw some gravel up here for me, so I can blame that. Much appreciated. And you're running out of time, so I needed you to get fucking running right now. All right, let's go real slowly through this one again, and let's see. You'll see my little scrape marks up here. What did I hit? No gravel. Zero gravel. Not even a single, not a piece that I could have blamed. That fucking sucks. Jesus Christ, I'm fucking stupid. Alright, so we watched it, right? It's not very exciting. I'm out of there unscathed. I have about a quarter-size scrape on my knee. Otherwise, I apparently had a past life as a crash test dummy or something, because I immediately spread out my body weight on the pavement to where my jeans barely have a hole in them. The shirt I was wearing doesn't even have a hole in it. It's incredible how smoothly I went over that. Now, I will mention this as well, because she'll beat me if I don't. It has been raining really bad around here. That day, it had been raining all morning. The streets looked dry to me. My girlfriend is still fully convinced that the road was still wet and that there was a mist before that caused me to go down, and she always gets mad at me if I go out when the roads are wet. So I may just be avoiding that to not agree with her. You get it. Anyway, that's her theory. Now, what do I think happened? And I went back out here, and after watching this video, and GoPro has a little thing where you can watch clip by clip what happened, where did the tire break. And that tire, my handlebars went, my tire broke immediately after going over a crack, right? So I thought, for sure, when I come back out here and look at this crack, it's going to be a bigger bump in the road than I thought it was, and it, something I may have missed. It caused that front wheel at the lean I was at to kind of go boop, boop. And it was just enough, and I was just close enough to that tire's traction limit to cause me to go over. I just went out to that crack just to really, look over everything. No shot, 0%. That crack, that road right there, smooth as can be. So, that's unfortunate, because that excuse is now out of my pocket. So back to, rewatching exactly what I thought happened when I went, and, I did go into this corner without moving my body weight. When I record, I sit in a very neutral body position, just because I am not comfortable trying to move my body weight and record, and just especially talking to myself and writing is still something that I'm very much working on. So, it definitely limits you in how much you can focus on what you're doing, and all of that. So definitely plays a factor in my mistake here, is simply I'm not a good multitasker. So that too, and with that in mind as well, the way I'm on that bike, right? Because I'm not leaning my shoulders, I'm not moving my legs, moving my hips over. It's not going to look like that turn was that sharp, at least in my opinion, watching it. I can tell you this, and this is because I'm so familiar with this turn and what I used to do with my bikes. That turn at that speed will get the chicken strips off of your bike. So, if you've been new or you've ever gone down this path before, and you've done this, some way, somewhere, that someone has gone out and try to get the chicken strips off their bike, and that used to be my spot. Okay, and so at that speed, at that lean, I would have gotten the chicken strips off of the front and rear tire. It is pushing your luck in terms of that turn right there. It is significantly sharper than these cameras may make it look. So if it's not the crack, and I didn't, and thinking back on it too, at the moment, right, I thought that my front, I trail braked in too deep, my brakes were on too hard at that moment. I never felt my front lock. I never felt that feeling of, and my ABS never kicked on. My front wheel never felt like it stopped rolling. Well, it didn't stop rolling really. but I never felt like my front wheel stopped rolling. I never felt like I was so close to the edge of the traction that the bike was actually squirrely, and it has that very distinct feeling, if you're familiar with it, when you get towards the edge of the tire. I didn't have that, and I'm still, it's so weird to me. So to me, I still think the roads were plenty dry enough for that turn at that speed, and that could just be me in denial, not wanting to give the girlfriend points on what happened. But what did for sure happen, I wiped through the front, so I was right there on my little post game. Definitely front wheel that broke. And I do think that and the other thing that's kind of weird too, and if you had asked me at any point in this turn until my handlebars went whoop and I was out of there, I'd have told you with 100% confidence I was making this turn. At 0 point did I feel like I was ever at risk of breaking my traction. And that was ignorance and arrogance on my part, for a whole lot of reasons, because again, this is a turn that I know consciously I'm running towards the edge of my traction on my tires at that speed, riding the way I was. So I got lucky. I got insanely lucky with how I landed, with how apparently my body's natural response to was to just immediately starfish and spread the contact patches across everything. My helmet didn't even hit the ground. I mean, it was, oh, that's another thing as well, for like that video doesn't show what I'm talking about with like how far leaned over I was. If you pay attention to how the bike just immediately slides, how little that travel was from over to on the ground, and how, I didn't even hit the ground really. My knee kind of scraped a little. Again, I have a quarter size scrape on my knee, and that's it, which is absurd. The chances of that happening are, I don't know what I've done to deserve such luck, honestly. So anyway, that's enough rambling. What do I think actually caused that wreck right there? And I believe I did trail brake in too deep. I think I was too hard on the brake for the lean angle that I got to. Whether that crack in the road and this very tiny bump, it may have been just enough. Whether there was that small amount of water on the road /wet / my tires were wet from a prior, whatever, the edges of my tires weren't dry, whatever. I do think I trail braked in. My brake was in too deep and too hard for where that broke. And had I been back on the throttle earlier, and had I stabilized the bike, if I'd taken my weight off and reduced lean angle, so I'd move my body weight, I'd have made that turn no problem all day. So that was my mistake there. That was my biggest mistake, was trying to record and hit that video and hit it at a speed that I know very well I should not have tried to do while just talking, because even like there's no point for it. It doesn't even look cool on video because of the way I'm sitting. I just, I had so much confidence in it. I was just, for the beginning of that video, I was just gonna wee through the turns and have fun. Don't push your bike's traction to you scraping chicken strips off on the street and think that it's gonna be okay. Especially don't do it if it's rained earlier and your girlfriend's gonna be mad at you and then get to tell you that she's right for the rest of forever. These are serious. These are problems. But seriously, don't push your bike. Don't. And when I talk about people ragging on chicken strips and stuff, this is why, and it's because it just takes that little tiny something. When I tell you 100% confidence, not a doubt in my mind, I was making it through that turn. My line looked great. My line felt great. I wasn't running wide. I mean, it was a beautiful turn until it wasn't. So anyway, hope y'all at least got some fun watching this one, and hopefully the old Gixxer's fixable. If not, we will give her a burial, and that will be a sad day. So thank you for watching, and I hope this, in some way, some form, will help you better understand something. I don't know. I'm an idiot. Thank you.